Hey everybody, welcome back to Late Night Baltimore. Well, it's about 9:15 tonight in Baltimore on a Monday night, a cold Monday night, April 20th. So don't be don't be smoking no wacky weed. But if you that's what you want to do, then do that. But that's legal in Maryland. So okay. Now, what we're going to talk about today is something that people think has been talked to death, but what people don't know is that depending on what happens, it could get a lot worse. And what we're talking about is data collection and privacy and security with your data and how that data is being shared. Now, what happened is that before MAGA came back into power, they made friends with all these big time, big tech people, buddied up to them. The big tech oligarchs own all the social media and all the data collection, Silicon Valley, everybody. They were supposed to be progressive, part of the woke, whatever that is, nobody knows. But they saw MAGA coming back into power and they didn't want to get left out because they know that MAGA is punitive against people that don't support them and that MAGA would find a way to take them over anyway. So they all jumped ship and all became MAGA. Well, they aren't what you would call very courageous or really moral people for the most part that run these companies like Musk and uh, Zuckerberg, Gates, none of them guys. I don't know who else am I leaving out. The Washington Post guy, Bozos. They own media and they own the collections of data, and they're all happen to be now MAGA. So that's bad because while we're watching this horrible war, and while the Epstein files are somewhat coming out, but not really, and while the President of the United States threatens another country with annihilation, and that seems to be okay, who also gets locked out of security briefings because of his temperament. That's all seems to be okay. But let's get back to from those. Let's look at something else. All that's going on. The MAGA Trump administration has really opened the floodgates on what everybody assumes is already too late, your personal data info. But now all those companies have been given the go ahead that who collect your data to own it, the corporations to own it and to share it as they will, as they wish. So if you think that you're being led around and being watched now, and that your personal information is being collected now, it is. But if you think it's bad now, it's going to get a whole lot worse because the Trump administration has done something called, they call it, and it's all for profit. They don't care. That's what they want: power or profit, mostly profit, and to get away with whatever they do. So what has happened is they eliminate information silo, removes the barriers between the federal agencies, and pushes the data sharing, including from state programs. And paired with the AI framework that preempts state AI and reporting laws, it creates what they call a perfect storm. Privacy protections the states built get steamrolled in the name of innovation, cutting waste, and to protect everybody from woke thoughts. So you're think about how these big time data collection companies think about, like, some states come up with ways to slow them down or have some kind of monitoring over how they share data. Now that's all going to be gone. Your data now is going to be in a big federally collected and shared with the corporations that a particular regime, in this case, you understand who you're dealing with, type of people who will pass it around and use it in algorithms and basically do whatever they want. Pretty much what they're doing now, but with access to a lot more information. Uh, the MAGA wants it because it's easier to control from the federal level. They see some of these state privacy laws as getting in their way and slowing them down. So they want one national standard cut, because I think it'll cut bureaucracy, stop woke regulations out that they think are happening from blue states. Although, like I say, nobody can explain what that means. And they try to say it'll fight fraud by letting agencies share freely. That's not what any of this is about. We know that. They think it's about beating China in AI. That's what they want to say. And we know that none of that's true. We know it's not about any of those things. It's not about efficiency or winning anything against any other company. It's about corporate capture. Now, think about your medical history aligning with your insurance rates, aligning with your location surveillance, aligning with your purchasing. And there's ways to fight it, and especially on local levels, if you can do something about it. But not if we think it's bad now, and it is. It's going to get a whole lot worse if we don't do anything about it. Because once it gets uh, shared among these different corporations and private hands, you never getting it back. Surveillance capitalism with a government stamp of approval, one source I got here said. California trying to fight it back, calling it an attack on people's rights, and they're right. The powerful people now who have their access that they leveraged for with MAGA, it's a gold mine for them. Now you got to call your state's reps and you got to remind them of this, that you want to try to return these kind of privacy and data collection laws to the state level. And because some states, let's face it, some states are going to be better at dealing with this than others. And you want to get it back into the state's control. On the other hand, you're going to have to take it among yourself to do your own kind of controlling of your own, protecting your own data. Make sure your VPN is very powerful and that it encrypts your IP address. And make sure you use as many different services, platforms as possible to get your information, and keep your location sharing to a minimum. And if you're working around or around people who don't follow any kind of cybersecurity protocols, either they don't know how to or they don't know why you should, watch what you say, because your conversations are all collected. And so you have to be careful of all of that. like we don't have enough problems. Let's see, you have a president who is pretty much incapacitated. Secretary of War who totally on the deep end in some weird fake Christendom mindset. You got the head of the FBI. He's got to get woken up like the guy in like Martin Sheen's character in Apocalypse Now at the beginning of the movie. Has to be woken up out of his drunk. So these are the type of people who are making those kind of big decisions. So J.D. Vance is the vice president. That's all you have to know on that. And Marco Rubio, who is supposed to be the Secretary of State you never see, even though the United States is attacking another country, killing thousands of innocent people. Those are the people that you're allowing to give out all your personal information. So think about that if you think things don't matter. Okay. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. And we will see you next time on Late Night Baltimore. Like and subscribe and pretend somehow that you watch this so that you can get some engagement credit. Because otherwise, we get no view times collected. All right, everybody. Keep fighting MAGA and have a great night.
Big Rooster.